Hi, my name's Laura Riffel. Thanks so much for joining us on this seminar quest.
Session 11 on disorganization. The first thing that we have to do is figure out the summary statement to trigger. So the trigger is what sets the behavior in motion. Revise the environment. So we have to make a change in the environment to set the student up for success. The next thing that we talk about in the summary statement is the target behavior or the behavior that we would like to target for change. And then we have to replace the behavior. So we can't just tell the kid to be good. We can't just tell them to stop, quit, don't, or no. We actually have to tip the replacement behavior, which means we teach it. We imprint it by modeling it for them. We practice it with them and we praise the approximations of the replacement behavior when we see it. So that's how we replace the behavior. And the impact is what the student is trying to gain or what the student is trying to escape by engaging in this behavior. And then the last thing that we have to do is reframe our own response. And the reason that we do this is to ensure that we are feeding the replacement behavior and extinguishing the target behavior. And so what that means is we have to do all the changing first to get the behavior change to happen. This is in your book on pages 49 through 50. It's just a short section, but just some ideas to help with disorganization. And many of our students come from a disorganized lifestyle at home where their rooms are a mess. So it's really hard for them to learn how to be organized at school. I know when I taught incarcerated high school students, they could lose their homework and they lived in a 6 foot by 9 foot cell and were only allowed to have a certain number of materials within that cell. So it was always amazing to me that they had not learned organizational skills. And I learned that I needed to start teaching organizational skills much earlier. So when I moved to kindergarten and started working with kindergartners, I started teaching kindergartners how to organize their papers, how to organize inside their backpack, how to organize their desk. Because I felt like that was something that we need to be teaching and giving booster shots on year after year after year so that they don't grow up to be disorganized adults. So, explaining to family members the importance of organizing a child's exit from home is really important. And I know now some of the new homes have these really fancy mud rooms. We didn't have a really fancy mud room when my kids were little. I had milk crates, and each kid had a different color milk crate. So everything in the house was color coded. So each kid had a certain color. So I could look quickly and know the green milk crate wasn't filled, so I knew which kid to get on to get their backpack in the milk crate and all their things that needed to go to school the next day. So I would just go over with them, what all needs to go to school tomorrow, and we would get it all put in the milk crate the night before. And I would rather deal with a kid at bedtime getting their milk crate ready to go, or whatever crate you're using, but getting their crate ready to go, than deal with a sleepy kid in the morning who's trying to remember what it is that they're supposed to take to school that day. So it's a lot easier. When we talk to family members about coming up with an organized exit from home, we're really helping their child have an excellent day at school. Because if you start your day organized, the rest of the day tends to be more organized. This is it's a map. This is what my desk should look like on the inside. And we used to draw maps for hours. Here's a locker, and this is what your locker should look like. And when I was in Georgia running the behavior intervention program, we also helped with the statewide PBIS implementation. And one of the schools that I worked with in Clayton County, they took a student's locker and took the door off. And it was up at the front of the school, so where the kids congregated when they came in the morning before the bell rang to go down the hallway. They took the door off, filled it up with what it should look like, nice and neat, and then they put a piece of plexiglass on it and screwed the plexiglass in, and it said, "Does your locker look like this?" And then they would walk around and catch kids whose lockers looked like that front locker, and they would give them, they actually gave out coupons for different things, but a pencil would work just as well. And that is a school supply that they really need. So nice idea to give out pencils. But I appreciate the ladies putting these maps out there so that you can see what I'm talking about. Who knows? They might turn into this person. We all know somebody who has their tools outlined in their garage so that they know exactly what's missing. This guy's missing a lot of stuff, but it's a great organizational tool. I have all my tools organized in the garage on pegboard, but I've not gone so far as to draw a line around everything so that I know what's missing. And these are way different tools than what I have. I have flathead and Phillips heads, but anyway, they might turn into a very organized person if we teach it when they're younger. A luggage tag from the dollar store hanging on their backpack. I really like these because they've got a little envelope and you can take the name address label and turn it over and write all the things that they need to remember to bring to school every day. Or if you're a school that has block schedule and Monday is this block and Tuesday is this block, then you could have it color coded and cue the kids on Monday to flip it so that they know what to bring on Tuesday. And I think that's a really important organizational skill for kids to have and to use as they grow up. So you'll be giving them a lifelong skill. At the elementary level, sometimes you have A day, B day, C day, something like that. And maybe B day is PE and they need to bring their PE shoes, and maybe A day is library and they need to bring their library books. So you could color code those and then the night before cue the kids and tell them to flip it to the correct color. So these are all great organizational tips. And again, this is something we could talk about all day. So think about other organizational things that you can do to help your kids be more organized.
We believe organizational skills should be taught yearly. We hope this section gave you some ideas on helping your students become more organized.